Today I'm going to show you how to make a fondant Eeyore. You will need blue flower paste icing, black flower paste icing, purple flower paste icing, white flower paste icing, and 2 shades of pink flower paste icing, one lighter than the other, edible glue, a paintbrush, a sharp knife, spaghetti or a toothpick, a rolling pin. Firstly, take your blue icing, work it until it is soft and malleable, and then roll into a ball, and then lengthen it slightly, and this will be the body. Then take the spaghetti, put it into the body, and then snap off slightly above the body so then you can attach the head to it. Then take the purple paste and roll out. Then you want to cut out a circular shape to cover the front of your body, which will be his tummy. Put your paste to one side because we will need this later. Then, using your edible glue and your paintbrush, stick to the body. Then take your blue paste again and roll into a sausage. Then cut it in half. Then, to make your feet, simply bend over and pinch to make the heel. Then cut to the desired length, so then these are the front feet. And then pinch the top of the feet so then it lays slightly flatter against the body. Then, using your edible glue and your paintbrush, stick it to the front of the body. I've stuck the heels to the body as well, so then it's easier once it dries to move it around without it breaking. Then get your blue paste again and roll into a slightly thicker sausage. Again, cut in half, and again, to make the feet, simply bend over and pinch the heel. And again, flatten the end and round it so then it sits against the body. This time though, you'll want the feet to sit sideways because it's going to go against the body. Then get the purple paste that you put to one side earlier, and using the legs, trace round it because you'll want to put purple on the inside of the legs. And then using the piece that you've just cut out, you're going to make it slightly smaller so then you can still see the blue from the inside of the leg. I'm also curving the edges as well so then it looks nicer. And then using the edible glue and the paintbrush again, just stick to the inside of one of your legs. And then stick the leg to the body. I've also stuck the feet together to make it easier to move once it dries, so then it reduces the breakages that you could have. And then just repeat again for the second leg. Then taking the blue paste, you want about the same amount of icing as you did for your body. Roll a ball, then elongate the ball, and this is going to be the head. Then take the light pink icing and roll out. And then using the end of the head as a guide, you'll want to cut a circle around it. This is going to be the nose. Then using your edible glue and your paintbrush, stick to the end of the nose, and then you'll want to wrap it round. If you keep it smooth where the front of the face is going to be, you can put the join on the back of the head. You can use a little bit more edible glue to make sure the edges stick to the face. And just cut off any excess icing and smooth over as best as you can. And then using your edible glue and your paintbrush, you're going to stick the head onto the body. It might be that you want to snap off a bit of your spaghetti if you've put it too high. And I've just stuck a bit more glue on there to make sure that the head is definitely on. Then take your white icing and roll 2 little balls. And if you press down, these will make the eyes. And then take your black icing and again roll even smaller balls, which you'll then press down, which will be the pupils of the eye. Then using your edible glue, just stick into the middle, flip over, use the edible glue to stick to the face. Then get a bit more black icing. Then take another 2 small balls of icing, flatten them down, and these are going to be the nostrils. So take your blue icing and roll out. Then you're going to want to make 2 ear shapes out of this. So I've divided the icing in half, and then I'm just going to cut them into Eeyore ear shapes. So it's like a long oval. Then repeat again so you've got 2. Then take your darker pink icing, roll out, and then you want to use your previous ear shapes to trace round, so then you've got the inner ear. Then take these pink shapes that you've just cut and again make slightly smaller, so then you can see the blue around the ear on the inside. Then stick the pink to the blue, so then the blue shows on the outside, so it looks like the ear. Then stick to the top of the head. I've used a bit of glue to stick the ear to the leg, so then once it's dry, there will be less chance of breakages. Then take your black icing and roll out into a sausage. This is going to be the mane. So measure up from the middle of the head all the way to the bottom of the body and cut. And then to make it look like hair, use either your knife very carefully or use a toothpick to put lines into the icing, which is going to make the mane look. Do this on both sides. Then stick the mane from the top of the middle of the head to the bottom of the body. I've curved the black icing at the bottom of the body just to make it look a bit nicer. Then take your blue icing and roll out a sausage. Then measure up against the body where you want the tail to end. I've just marked it so then I know where to cut. Then take your black icing, roll it into a ball, and then you're going to make it into a tail shape. So it's thinner and slightly thicker where the end of the tail is. And then again, using the same technique to make the mane, you're going to put some lines into the end of the tail to make it look like hair. And then using your edible glue, stick your tail to the end of the tail, the black bit. Then taking your brighter pink icing, roll out. Then cut out a long rectangle to the size of what you want your bow to be. Then put a little bit of edible glue in the middle and curve over each of the sides to stick into the middle. I've used the end of my paintbrush to make sure that the curve stays open. Then cut a smaller rectangle of pink icing. Stick that into the middle to cover the join, and then stick on the back of the bow so then it curves around. Then stick that where the black meets the blue on the tail. And then stick the tail to the body. And there you have it. That's how to make a Fondant Eeyore. Why would it not stop sticking to the board? I laugh now. I was so upset at the time. It was unbelievable.